If the brakes on your motorcycle feel spongy, you might not need to change them just yet. Don't worry, we are not falling. But today we'll be bleeding the brakes on my Gixxer 1000R. I recently bled the front when I replaced my factory front brake master cylinder with this Brembo RCS, and the brake fluid was literally the color of Sunny D. And as you can see, it isn't supposed to be. So now all that's left is to bleed the rear brake master cylinder, which is about the same as doing the front, but even easier. The only difference when it comes down to bleeding front brakes is you start bleeding from the furthest caliper away from the master cylinder. For the rear brake, you'll only have one caliper, which means you only have to bleed from one valve, which means it'll probably only take about 5 minutes, and it's as easy as this. Grab a bottle to catch the brake fluid, poke a hole through the top of it, and grab a hose to fit your bleeder valve and poke it through the bottle. And place that hose directly onto the bleeder valve. Now, whatever fluid is released, you'll be able to see come directly out of this hose, and if it's air coming out, you'll see that too. Remove the cap off the rear brake fluid reservoir, and since the fluid in the reservoir is insanely dirty, grab a rag and soak up all the old brake fluid with it. And now we can top it off with fresh fluid just so we don't run all the old fluid through the line as well. And now we can begin bleeding. For most calipers, all you'll need is an 8mm wrench. Begin pumping the rear brake lever, pump, 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 hold, and as you're holding the brake lever, crack open the bleed valve, close it back, and begin pumping the rear brake again to build pressure back into the lever. And as you bleed, you always want to keep an eye on the level in the brake fluid reservoir, as it does tend to drop each time you release the valve. And now we'll just keep repeating that process over and over and over until one, we get clear fluid in the brake line, which it isn't currently, and two, you'll have proper pressure in your brake pedal. And the reason you want to continuously top off the brake fluid, because once you get air in the line by accident, you'll have to rebleed the entire line, which just makes this job a tad bit longer. And just like that, we're ready to wrap this thing up. And all it took was about 10 minutes. As we now have fresh clear fluid running through the line again, refill the reservoir one last time, and extremely firm pressure in the brake. And just like that, it's ready to ride again. But to make sure it's really ready, let's put it to the test. Don't worry, we are not falling.